What's up, fellas? Had a loyal patron supporter that wanted me to talk about things that are none of your girls' business. Because the pillow talking is getting out of control with men. I think that's why he asked me this. But guys, I want you guys, before I get into my talking points, I want you guys to understand something. Do not confuse appreciating, right, with respecting it. Okay? And so I can appreciate a woman giving me head on the first date, but will I respect it? So with some of these talking points, what you're gonna see, and you're gonna be like, well, whoa, AMS. My girl likes when I do that. Don't confuse appreciate with respect. I appreciate it, but that don't mean, listen, y'all guys remember in school when you was a teenager in 7th, 8th grade, by that age, you done start feeling on girls without their permission. Now think about it. Good thing the Me Too movement went around goddamn back in school, back in those days. You remember back in the day, y'all, you find a little girl that was kind of freaky, that kind of like let everybody touch on her and stuff like that without permission and stuff. Don't act like y'all ain't goddamn know what I'm talking about. What's he talking about? You know, motherfucker. You know, it was always them girls that everybody know you could touch on. She don't say that. Real freaky, real promiscuous, right? You appreciate it, but you don't respect it. You like, she's a nasty little slut. But you appreciate it. I got my little grope on. You felt on the little girl, and she laughed, and she likes it, and she likes it from everybody. She don't never tell nobody no. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I'm sitting there like, ooh, what's he talking about? You know what the hell I'm talking about. Well, some of you may don't. Some of y'all may don't. This probably was reserved for the alpha males of the school, so to speak. Maybe because it's funny. So you know what? I take that back. Girls kind of had this little alpha male thing going on in school. Now I'm thinking about it. Those girls wouldn't let some guys touch on them. So it's kind of like the thing we're going on today, how some guys got to date a girl for 5 months just to get a kiss. And on the first date, she'll suck some dude's dick. Ain't what Rollo said? Rollo said, they make rules for betas and break rules for alphas. Ain't that what Rollo said? Shout out Rollo Tomasi. Yeah, I think Rollo said that. Shout out Rollo Tomasi. They make rules for betas. So maybe some of y'all guys don't know about that. Yeah, that was an alpha male thing. They were breaking rules for the alpha. All right, so you can't correlate. So don't worry about that. Disregard that comment. But anyway, guys, let's get into the talking points. Right there. Let's get into it. The number one thing, guys, you don't discuss with your girl, none of her business, how much money you make. Now, I'm not talking about no general term, 6 figures. What the hell is 6 figures? Is that 120,000 or 800,000? I mean, what the hell is that? That's a wide range. So that ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when she knows to the cent. You make $247,000 and $247,000 and $500 after taxes. When she knows to the T what you make. And I'm going to tell you why. All right? I'm going to tell you why. Women are frivolous with money. And I think some of you guys know or may not know, but they are not like us men. Right? They are YOLO motherfuckers. It's almost like women are born saying YOLO. They are YOLO motherfuckers. We men, some of us, the responsible ones, right? Responsible ones, just naturally always think of a rainy day, the future, 50, let our money work for some of us, not all of us. I understand there's a lot of irresponsible men too. I don't want to sit here and act like all women are frivolous and all men are responsible, because we know that's bullshit. But by and large, men are more responsible with finances than women. If you don't think online, look who the number one consumer is in the market. What's the old saying goes in the sales market? Pitch the bitch. That's the sale market. Don't never take your girl to, if for all my guys who in like monogamous relationships, don't never take your girl to go look at a car, some furniture. They ain't even gonna try to sell to you. They gonna try to sell to her. You know why? Because they know she's irresponsible. And that's why in sales, they have the thing pitch the bitch. All right, pitch the bitch. Sales pitch the bitch is what it is. Because women are irresponsible. So when she knows to a T how much money you make, guess what happens? She becomes the world's biggest pocket watcher. So now she knows exactly how much money you can and can't spend. So when you try to tell her, hey, honey, we can't afford to stay at that expensive hotel, $247,000 before after taxes. So now you say, well, AMS, I don't care. What I got to do with anything? I'm gonna tell you why it matters. Women correlate how much money you spend on them in correlation to how much money you make. Do y'all guys get that? So for one of you guys that make $40,000 a year, your girl is not going to expect you to spend the same amount of money on her as LeBron James' wife is going to expect him to spend on her. See, it's in correlation to how much money you make. So if you make $247,000 after taxes, Michael Kors bag might don't cut it. You see where I'm going with this? You don't want your woman to become the biggest pocket watcher. Because now, before, where if you gave her that little Coach bag or Michael Kors bag, she's like, oh, that's fine. Oh, not Mr. $247,000 after taxes. Oh no, we might need a Chanel bag. And see, you might want to be trying to save for that business, but women don't think like that. Women correlate how much you make to how much you're willing to spend on her with how much you love her. It's in a correlation now. It's in correlation. A woman don't expect a man making 30 grand or 40 grand a year to buy her a fucking Chanel bag. But Mr. $247,000 after taxes, she will. So you don't want her, listen, if you're, for all you got, well, AMS, she knows what I do. What the fuck that mean? Guys, there are lawyers who make $70,000 a year. There's lawyers who make $800,000 a year. There's lawyers who make $5 million a year. What the hell that mean? Just because you're a lawyer or a doctor, listen, that might say that those occupations generally might presume that you make six figures. But what's six figures? Is that $150,000 or is that $850,000? It's a wide range in there. So what she might expect out of a guy that she presumes make $150,000, she might not expect that from a guy that makes $850,000. Do y'all guys get that? So you don't want a woman counting your money because now it makes you look like a cheap ass when she wants to be frivolous. And hey, maybe this don't matter to you, but the point what I'm trying to say to you guys is, why would you tell your family? Why would you tell friends? Because when your friend know you make $500,000 a year, and when he want to borrow $3 grand because he need to get his transmission fixed, Mr. 500 grand a year, he expect you to be able to help him. Now you ain't gotta help him, but relatively speaking, with correlation to what you make, you probably should be able to help him. Y'all guys get what I'm saying? And so when people know how much money you make, it's hard to say no. You can't tell. Guys, could you imagine if your brother was one of these max NBA players and that's making 40, 50, 60 grand a year, and you call him and you don't ask him that much for something, and you say, hey man, I got this business proposition that I want to do, and I want to start this car lot or something, and could you front me a generous loan of 60 grand? Keep in mind, this guy makes $50 million a year. That would be like you giving somebody $5 probably. And he says no, you probably never talk to that motherfucker again. I'm being serious. So for all you guys that think, well, it does, because people think like with what you make, what you should be able to do. It does matter. So she don't need to know exactly what you make. I understand some occupations are going to be six figures incomes. Let her speculate all she wants. That's what it is, speculation. You don't know. You might think you might know I'm a doctor, you might know I'm a dentist, or you might know I'm a lawyer. But it's a wide range up in there. It's a big difference between 150 and 850. Okay, guys? So she doesn't need to know the exact dollar. She becomes a fucking pocket watcher. By the way, nobody should know exactly what you make. Next, guys, your family and friends' personal business. So what happens, guys, when you do this, the trust is gone communication-wise. And what do I mean by that? Well, guys, I told you guys about you have to listen to your woman when she's being emotional about her problems and stuff. I told y'all guys that emotional tampon is for guys who don't get ass. Unfortunately, us guys who have non-monogamous and monogamous relationships with the same girls, we have to listen to that baggage, which is a good thing as long as it's controlled, as long as it's not getting out of hand where every day she got a sob story. I don't want to hear that fucking bullshit. But as long as it's controlled periodically, once a week, she comes in and want to let loose or whatever, right? And the reason that is, guys, because when she unloads this baggage onto you, this is building a connection. Okay, guys, this is building trust and a connection. When somebody open up to you, this is how bonds are built. Okay, guys, you want to know one way you could tell if somebody a true friend of yours? How much of their deep personal business do you know? If you only know surface level shit, then you just an associate. Because please believe me, they best, whoever they real dogs is, know whatever their issues is. Whoever that is, maybe it's his brother or her brother, whatever. But whoever the person they trust, they know it. That's how you know. If you got somebody right now, you like, I don't know that motherfucker, how deep of their personal shit you know. That's how you can tell. If you don't know nothing but surface shit, you are not the father. You are not the one. All right, you're an associate. So part of building the attachment, guys, comes from her getting you that emotional baggage. Okay, you cannot get to that next level of connection without distrust. That has to be there. That won't be there if you running around blabbing all your friends and family personal business, because guess what that means? If you'll do them, you'll do her. If you have friends and they probably ain't opened up to you, you have to ask yourself, how much of a fucking blabbermouth are you? Maybe they seen you be a fucking blabbermouth and talk too fucking much and tell other people business to where they don't trust you. See, all this part of the connection, guys. All this is part of the connection. All this comes with the attachment. If somebody is holding certain things from you and they haven't opened this up to you, there will be no attachment. Okay, guys? So just keep that in mind. Do not tell the girl any of your friends and family's personal business. No pillow talking. I know it gets easy to do at night. And, oh, my brother girl, she cheated on him and they're going to counseling now. And she got an STD and blah, blah, blah. All just personal shit. I'm not talking about little surface stuff like, yeah, my brother got a raise today. Nobody, I'm not talking about that little bullshit. I'm talking about, you know, the deep. Listen, if they was in the room with you, would you bring it up? So like if your brother got a raise or something, you would say, hey, Mark, congratulations on that raise. You wouldn't mind saying that in front of people, because that's not personal business. But you wouldn't want to say in front of other people, hey, y'all still going to marriage counseling? You see, that's personal. So if you couldn't say it in front of them, if they was in the living room with you and your girl, and you wouldn't say it, then you know it's something that you shouldn't tell her. Whatever you tell her about them, it should be shit that y'all could discuss at the table and you could say it in front of them. So if you can't do that, then you know it's personal, too personal. Okay, guys? So keep that in mind. No attachment will be built if she can't trust to open up to you. Next, guys, your vulnerabilities. Now, I just told you the girl need to open up to you. I ain't said go the other way around. You're stoic. You don't have baggage. Now, why have this gotten so out of hand? With maybe it's always been there, but it's been discussed a lot more now with men having emotional issues and wanting to open up. Why is this? And maybe it's always been there. Maybe we just got social media now and it's more talked about now, so you hear about it now. But why is this such a big deal now? Well, I have a theory. I'm not 100% sure, but I have a theory. What happens is one day a man wakes up. He has a job he hates. He has a girl she's okay. And basically the man has a life that he don't want. And eventually over time, if you do this enough, if you get up and you go do a job you don't like or work for a boss you don't like, you do this for long enough, your ass probably will enter a state of depression if you do it long enough. My thing to you guys is we don't open up. We make changes. If that's your life, and if this is what got you down, because what do men come talk opening up to their girl mostly about, right? The job, the boss, just something, money, financial script, all this is balled up into one, and then it just comes out with his girl, right? My thing to you guys is, what are we going to do about it? That's my thing. What are we going to do about it? If you're a guy and you're dealing with issues, I guarantee you, if you sat down and you went to the root of the fucking problem, I guarantee you in there somewhere what you do for a living is somewhere in that line and wait. Or who you work for, something like that. It's something because guys, we work 1/3 of the day at least. 1/3 of the day. You go to work at probably 5 days a week at least, right? Most guys, right? Could you imagine doing that, waking up one day and you like, this is gonna be my fucking life? And so over a period of time, y'all guys seen that movie with that, who was Marley and Me? Y'all seen it? Y'all remember the scene where he pulled up in the driveway and he just looking in the house like, oh my fucking God. The dog movie, where the dog dies at the end. Well, if you ain't seen it, on spoiler alert. Just like AMS. Tell you the end and then tell you spoiler alert. You gotta be a hell of a motherfucker to tell motherfuckers the ending of the shit, then say, oh, spoiler alert. Or thanks, motherfucker. Thank you. I appreciate you giving us the spoiler alert after you told us the fucking what was gonna happen. Appreciate that, AMS. But he pulls up his scene in the movie. He pulls up in the driveway and he just sitting in the car and he just looking at his wife and kids and he's doing a job he fucking hates and he's just doom and gloom. And finally, him and his wife came up with a solution that something needed to change, and he changed because she said, if I had to see you one more day pull up in that driveway and just stare at the house, and this is most men. This is most men. And I ain't even talking about with the wife or nothing like that. I'm just talking about in general without the wife, just you. Guys, you got to get on your purpose. You got to find something you're passionate about, and it ain't got to be today. You ain't got to quit your job today, because I'm going to tell you guys what happened. When I was studying to become a personal trainer, I became just happier working on it. I ain't even took the test yet or even in the process of taking the test. The moment I started, when I got that package in the mail from NASM, I just felt the change, even though I knew it was going to be a while before I took the test. And guys, I was still losing the weight. I hadn't lost the weight or nothing. Once I made my mind to become a personal trainer, I had started losing the weight and I was studying to pass the NASM test. And instantly, just like that, I felt 50% better. So if you guys today recognize something and you just start putting things in place to change your life, even though that might take 2-3 years, I promise you, your whole mood will change. If that means going to night school, the fact that you know that this is not going to be my life for the next 40 years, just you knowing that will pep you up. When you think this is it, anybody walking the earth is going to have emotional baggage. Because, guys, it's a piling effect. It's not just the job, but it's at the root of the problem. So everything else starts to compound on top of it. And maybe you like the job, but it doesn't pay. But at the end of the day, I guarantee you most men's issues with emotional baggage, somewhere at that root of it, it's going to be finances and occupation. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. Now, for guys who dealing with real mental health stuff, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the guys who just, they just bitch to their girl all the time. I guarantee you, if you look what you do for a living, I guarantee you it's the root of it. You just walk around with a sour puss all the time because you ain't happy with what you do for a living. Or maybe you're happy with what you do for a living, but you ain't happy who you do it for. And when I was at the gym training, I like training. I just got tired of working for them dickhead managers that I was working for. I felt like they must thought I was one of them little kids running around there, little 21, 22-year-old man. I'm a grown-ass man. Don't be talking about some damn meeting every other goddamn day. Every time I turn around, 2 meetings a week and all this other shit, man. All this childish ass shit. That's some damn meetings. I got tired of that fucking bullshit. So the point what I'm saying, and I did something about it. I got my ass on up out of there. So you have to take accountability and do something to change this. Another reason why men do this, come spilling their guts and vulnerabilities out to their woman and stuff is thinking that it honors you some sympathy points. Women are not built to be sympathetic. They're not hardwired that way. Women are results organisms. That's how they are built. That's how they're wired. That's why when a man gets fired and stuff, and you do it long enough, she's going to leave you because women are hardwired to survive for the species. She's not hardwired to love you forever and a day through thick and thin. She will for a short period of time if she's attached to you. But the attachment, if you stay struggling long enough, you stay down, the attachment will be broke. Because the need to survive eventually will override that. She won't leave you today if she's attached. But at some point, like I always told you, at some point, hypergamy will take over when survival is involved. Survival. Survival ain't you lost your job today and so I'm going to walk out tomorrow. That ain't survival. Survival is it's been goddamn 8 months and this motherfucker still in there drinking beers feeling sorry for itself. So the attachment will be broke. And no, women are not going to give you no sympathy points. Next, guys, past heartbreaks. So, we have a lot of, I'm trying to choose my words carefully here. We got a lot of mama's boys kind of like things going on. And so a lot of men, they don't understand. So mama, let me explain something to y'all about mama. When you were young, you scab your knee, you stub your toe, you run to mama when you were 3 years old, 4 years old. Mama kiss you on the cheek, give you some ice cream, make you feel real good. Because, mama just, mama don't want no harm come your way. Your girl is not your mother. So you coming to her with all these heartbreak things and, I'm struggling in life and I just don't like where I'm at. This is not your mother. You got to understand, this is not your mother. This is your woman. So when you come to your girlfriend thinking that she going to give you some sympathy points because that bitch before her did you dirty, it just makes her lose value in you. Guys, the thing about a woman and a man is that the woman needs to always feel that that man has more value than her. That's the way it works. And when you go and tell her, you open up and you tell her that some other girl dumped you, did you wrong, and now she's fucking your former best friend, that devalues you in her eyes. And so it serves no purpose. She's not going to give you some sympathy points because you opened up to her how the last girl did you wrong. She don't care. Now, she might sit there and because you guys might have done this And she might sit there with that empathetic face on, like she cares, compassionate face, like, oh, that's so low down, this, that, and the other. But subconsciously, guys, she's hardwired to say, this is not the king. This is not the king. You don't tell your girl about past heartbreaks and stuff like that. If you want to go back to when you was a teenager, I guess that don't hurt none. I still wouldn't do it. But you damn sure don't want to do it for my last girl or the girl before that or last year. I don't think you need to do none of them. Because she always thinking in her head, now I got somebody else leftovers. You know, the one thing, because guys, I always used to be a numbers game guy. So one thing about me, guys, is how I always got laid so much, which why a lot of men struggle today is men just can't handle rejection and they don't understand this shit is a numbers game. So I used to get rejected back in the day, even with my height, even with the little ladies man status I had back in Alabama and all this type of shit. I still used to get rejected. And, you know, Alabama's a small town. And so what would happen is periodically I'd be dealing with another girl and then found out her friend is a girl that rejected me 2 years ago. And you know she told her. And the girl come back and tell me, yeah, Tabitha told me you tried to talk to her in the club 2 years ago, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm like, damn. Because I know for that split second, I lost a couple of cool points with my girl because this other chick done told her she rejected me. But that was just part of the numbers game. So imagine me telling her some girl dumped me for another guy. You think that's adding value to me, to her? No, it's subtracting value. I used to hate that. That shit used to happen to me a lot, guys. When you make the rounds enough in your town, and it's not a big town like New York or California and there like that, it's a small town. And of course you're gonna have rejection just like everybody else. And then your girl, you find out your girl is friends with a girl that you went out with her one time, or maybe she turned you down or whatever. And then you know you just like, no, I lost one cool point. So we always want to do things that add value to our girl in her eyes. Telling your girl about your past heartbreaks and some girl dump you and won't block your number and all that other shit, thinking that she's supposed to feel sympathy or something like that, or preempting that she hopes she don't hurt you like that. It don't work that way, guys. All it does is lower your value in her eyes. Next, guys, how you struggled in the dating market when you were single. So this is not about not getting dates. This is about how bad the dating market is. So when I lived in Alabama, and I told y'all guys, I lived with a girl for a couple of years, right? A few years, right? And we used to have a lot of breakups. And when we would get back together, she would say, well, what you was doing out there when you was, I said, man, all them trashy women, this, that, and the other. So I would have a lot of days I would sleep with a lot of girls, but they were just all trash. And what, unbeknownst to me at the time, because I'm younger, I didn't know no better, was what I'm telling her is I'm giving her more value by telling her how trashy the other women is. See, I'm young and I didn't understand this dynamic of it. So by me telling her how trashy other women is, that makes her feel special. It'll be sort of like you applying for this job and they're like, whoa, thank God we got you, because we couldn't fill this position. Nobody was applying for it. Well, that would just give you more leverage and things. That would make you feel more valuable, right? So you don't want your girl feeling like she has more value because of how bad the other applicants are. Okay, so say they had other applicants, but none of them were qualified to do the job, right? And you was the first one that was qualified. Well, and that makes you feel like, well, I should make more money then. So you're actually damaging yourself because you just told the girl that she has more value than she even thought. So you don't want to even tell your girl how bad the dating market is. You want to say, hey, so how was dating with before, we got together and stuff? Oh man, I love dating, man. It was fun. Yeah, I had a lot of fun, a lot of dates and stuff like that. Nothing serious, but I had a lot of fun, man. A lot of good women. Lying through your teeth like a motherfucker. Keep lying, boy, lie. Man, a lot of good women, But, I just wasn't ready to settle down at the time. And so, you met me at the right time in my life where I was ready to settle down. If she asks you that, you never tell her how trashy and how bad the dating market is. Imagine if she told you that. Well, what would you think? Oh, man, all men are trash. One no good men out there, blah, blah, blah. You would just think like, damn, I really got it going on then. You ain't got too many options, huh? See, guys, you can have a lot of options, but how many good options do you have? Next, guys, if you've cheated on an ex in the past, most people think like, hey, man, just, tell the truth. I'm a changed man now. What you guys have to understand is most people think they give second chances, but they really don't. Imagine if you was talking to a girl and she told you she cheated on an ex. What would you think? Would you trust her? You might say you would, and you might want to try. But honestly, you wouldn't trust that bitch farther than you could throw her. And a relationship is built off trust, guys. If you can't trust that motherfucker to go to the store, guys, you should be able to trust your girl to go away on a weekend with the girlfriends for one of the girls' birthday. I ain't saying we finna turn this shit into goddamn every weekend, girl trip every weekend. I did not fucking say that. But if her best friend is having a little getaway to Miami, her friend only got one birthday a fucking year. So let's say she got 4 friends and they take 4 trips a year for the girl's vacation. You should have no issues with that if you trust your girl. Now, as for in a relationship, we ain't finna turn this into no girl weekend every weekend. I did not say that. There's a difference between trust. Bitch, you in a relationship now. So let's get this shit straight right now. I can trust you to go with your girl for a birthday weekend. That's fine. But I'm not saying turn this shit into an everyday weekend. I did not say that. So don't take words out my mouth. You should be able to trust her to do that, guys. And she should be able to trust you to do that. And if you can't have a relationship. Trust is everything in a relationship. It's everything, guys. You will not have, all you're going to have is insecure people accusing each other of doing something that the other one isn't even doing. You need to be able to trust your girl. Period. So, never tell a woman you cheated on an ex, ever. Next, guys, if you've gotten fired, may get fired, or potentially getting your hours cut, never tell women that. They do not help this situation. You would be better off getting up in the morning time and going to fucking look for work without even telling her what's going on. I am telling you this shit right now. So say you got fired today and you waiting on your girl to come home, don't tell her. Get up like you normally going to work and go look for a goddamn job. And tell her afterwards you found another job and you got fired or laid off. She ain't gonna help the fucking shit. Only thing she gonna do is make it more stressful than what it is. This ain't about her leaving you. This ain't got shit to do with that. I'm just coming from a point of, do you think she makes the situation better? What if it takes you 2 weeks, a month to find a job? All she gonna do, come home every day and look at you like a damn loser. Now I do understand in some situations she might just know. You might work at a company that everybody in town know they doing some layoffs. And in that situation, you got no other choice. But when I got laid off from the construction job, I did not tell that girl I was living with at that time that I had got laid off from the construction job. My ass went right back to the goddamn labor ready and waited till they sent me somewhere. They sent me somewhere about 2 or 3 days later. I didn't even tell her. Because all she gonna be doing is just looking at me like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Bitch, I don't fucking know. I'm working on it. They don't make the situation better, so there's no need of telling them. So if you ever finna get laid off or get fired, it serves no good telling her that situation. I promise you. Next, guys, and this is the last one, your future plans. Guys, be a doer. Don't be a talker. One thing I can tell you guys about future plans, things change. As men, we analyze the shit. Sometimes we overanalyze shit. And then as we get more analyzing it, we get to thinking about, maybe that's not a good idea. Maybe the time ain't right. But you told her you was finna do this or do that or start a car lot, start a carpet cleaning business, and now you ain't doing it. Keep that shit to yourself. Tell her once you started, once you got the LLC and you got the website up, tell her then. Until that point, you might change your mind 8 times before you actually do it. And then some people say, well, if you tell somebody, it makes you accountable. If you have analyzed that shit, and when you did your analyzing of it, you decided that it wasn't a good idea, you telling her and her holding you accountable to doing it ain't gonna change your mind one bit. If you analyze the shit over and over and over again, and you realize now that that may not be a good idea, her holding you accountable ain't gonna change that. So my point is, why even tell her? Keep that shit to yourself. You got some big plans or whatever, tell her when you actually do it. All right, guys. Hope y'all guys learned something. I'll get back with you guys next time.